How are we gonna pull out of here? Yeah. What are we doing, James?
So, we're pulling in to Airstream of Tampa. We've got 0.4 miles of parking lot to drive through. But we're pulling in to sign the papers, do the walkthrough, and officially have our new home.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Here we are. Time to go get an Airstream.
Howdy.
Hey guys, I'm Jameson.
And I'm Devan.
And this is the Outdoors In. That's really weird.
Howdy. Nope.
Go for it.
Okay. Howdy.
Hey guys.
Howdy.
I'm Jameson.
And I'm Devan. And this is the Outdoors In. Bug on my face.
That's right. So we are in the midst of battling with bugs.
A lot of gnats.
And
that's actually that's a great intro because this is the life we chose. And
yeah.
This is a little video to introduce ourselves and share a bit about what we're doing.
Yep. Yeah. So Dev, why don't you start by just giving a little backstory.
Okay. So husband and wife duo here. We'll be married 7 years next month.
Yep.
We both have the opportunity to work remotely.
Yep.
And we've been doing that for the last such and such COVID time in an apartment that we were paying way too much for and really didn't own, anything besides our cars. And I worked a lot this year. Like, just feel like my whole life was behind my computer for the last 14 months or so.
Yeah.
And I just kind of thought, I could be doing this anywhere. And instead I'm doing this behind my desk in an apartment.
Yeah. And not just that we could do it anywhere, we were in the middle of looking at houses and trying to plan to buy a house. And I know at least here in Texas and probably many other parts of the country, it's the same story that, the housing market has just skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
And we felt that while, you're still making an investment in a home, it just wasn't the right time for us. And we were looking around, like, when you get to that point where, like, okay, I guess I feel adult enough to start thinking about buying a house. Not that it's not adult to not buy a house, obviously, because we didn't buy one, so it's not meant to be a hit if you don't want to buy a house. But, yeah, we just started looking at all the neighborhoods in the Dallas area, because that's where our family's from, and just didn't want to be in any of them. So fast forward, Devan brings up the idea of buying a camper and working remotely. And immediately, I mean, like she says it and I respond immediately and I say no. And
it was like no, absolutely not, there's no way that would work. And I was like, James, and he was like, no.
Yeah, there just wasn't any question about it, right? And she said, you can't just say no. You have to at least think about it and give thought to it before you just immediately say no. So I thought that was fair, right? I should at least give it some serious consideration, because it is something that you can do. So
I didn't bring it back up. I was like, typically I'm a little obnoxious, to be honest, when I have an idea about something. I was like, okay, I think the move here is just don't, and just let him stew on it. Since he agreed to stew on it.
That was smart. So 3 days or so went by, and I just said to Dev, you know, I'm really thinking about it.
And then I tried to conceal my excitement. And just kind of like, oh, okay, you know, that's cool. And Jay wanted to go look at some RVs, so we did. We'll talk about kind of our process of what we looked at and how we decided on what we decided on and our thoughts on that and all of that at another time. But ultimately, it took about a week or less for us to be on the same page that we were doing this. We were going to move out of our apartment, downsize a bit, and live full-time in an Airstream.
Yep.
So now maybe like moving beyond the buying conversation, we ordered it in May, and so we had from May until August to stew on things, plan, think about it, and kind of get going. Yep. And so we've now been in the Airstream for like a month almost today. I think 2 days from now will be a month.
Yep, it's been about a month. And we've kind of spent the time just getting things ready. We moved out of our apartment, put everything we owned except for what came in here and some stuff that we threw away and gave away into a 10 by 10 storage unit.
Sold both of our cars.
Sold both of our cars.
And let me tell you, it does not disappoint. Google it.
But James and I are on the way to Benton, Arkansas. So we're driving separately because we are trading in both of our cars, getting real here, for a truck so that we can pull the Airstream. Like everyone, you know, who's going through like a truck buying or RV or whatever experience, there's this delay. There's like a backlog on everything.
Yeah, right now.
We didn't know when we were picking it up.
So it was hard to find a truck. You know, you had to wait on the Airstream, but we sold the cars, got the truck, and moved out of the apartment. And then right when we moved out, essentially, so we had a little bit of about a week to wait more. So we drove from Texas to Florida. We stayed in Florida, in Daytona, for about a week. You know what the best way to start a road trip is? Maybe an indefinitely long road trip? That's by losing your wallet. Never lost my wallet before. Typically pride myself in keeping track of things that I own. I might misplace them, but I don't lose them.
Where do you think it might be?
I think it got swallowed up by the ocean. Alright, so after going to 2 different breakfast places, I think both were called cafes, and it's currently 9 o'clock. Both were closed.
And driving around for 25 minutes.
Driving around for 25 minutes.
Trying to find breakfast.
And we had passed this donut place that looked pretty cool. We'll show you some pictures of it. But while sitting here eating our donuts,
Gross.
show them the donuts.
That's gross.
Right behind Devan is a cafe with an open sign. And
basically
then,
waiting. Like we could have been there for 3 weeks just hoping we would get it by the end of August. And even like our sales representative in Tampa, she didn't know what we were getting it.
Yeah.
She was just trying to give us the most up-to-date information. She was wonderful. Her name is Beth. But yeah, I mean, she was kind of like hands tied too until I hear
Yeah.
something, and call me every other day until I give you an update. So we did.
Yeah. So we waited in Florida, just hoping that it would meet the timeline, and it got pushed a little. But while we were there, it was ready, and so we left Daytona, drove to Tampa, and picked it up.
How are we gonna pull out of here? Yeah.
We're pulling in to Airstream of Tampa. Here we are. Time to go get an Airstream.
We're waiting on a demo. Well, we are having our first dinner in the Airstream.
Gourmet.
Cheers.
When you wake up and see Airstreams for days, it's not a bad, Cute girl. So, we spent the night in the Tampa of Airstream parking lot.
Well, we can keep this pretty short. We slept here for the first time,
Yep.
and we liked it. It's pretty cool.
I gotta say, I liked the place. I didn't like my sleep.
Actually, Jameson, if it weren't for him, I would have slept really well last night. I was sleeping great until every single time that he woke me up.
But it was partly her fault that I didn't sleep well. Because all she wanted to do was cuddle.
That's all we want to do every single night. This is not new to the Airstream.
And
so.
I didn't have the air set low enough, so I was hot.
We had it on 65.
And we're only on 30 amp right now, so we could only run one AC.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned it down 2 degrees, and it got much, much cooler. Freaking vloggers.
I know. Yeah, and here we are one day into our Airstream adventure, and we're very obnoxious with our camera set up on our little dinette here, and the lady who works, because we stayed at the Airstream of Tampa, a lady who works here like walked by our window, and we just feel so obnoxious, so I guess we're gonna have to get over ourselves.
Yeah.
But
no, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, it is interesting. It's kind of crazy and weird that we just slept in like a little aluminum can of a thing, but it's really cool. It feels very nice in here. It feels very cozy. It feels very homey and like put together so far. So our plan for today is we were gonna drive like 8 hours just to stay somewhere that we felt like was safe in Florida, because we ended up in a place on the way here that we didn't feel like was so safe and drove through and compromised our lives.
Not really.
Trying to stay awake driving to get to a safer part of Florida. So, long story short, we're what?
Don't hit the table because you're shaking the camera.
Oh, sorry.
We'll cut it.
Or not. Yeah, so long story short, we are going to either drive 8 hours and stay somewhere kind of cool, or we're going to drive like 4 hours, stop, and then try to set up some stuff. And the goal is to keep it very simple and organized, and when we get back to Texas, offload anything that we realize we don't need.
Yep.
And Dublin didn't hate his life. We kind of set up the couch where you pull out a drawer right there, and it extends it until we put his dog bed up there last night, and he had a bigger couch area that he could choose between, and he seemed pretty cozy.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. This is home.
And then we headed back towards Texas.
With the hurricane.
Yeah, the
kind
hurricane,
of taunting us.
Hurricane Ida.
We were about 10 hours ahead of where the storms were the whole time on the way back.
So we made a stop in Madison, Florida. That was our very first RV resort or RV park. It just happened to be an RV resort.
That one was in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh.
Madison, Florida.
Okay.
We actually stayed 2 nights there because we just wanted to decompress and enjoy it a little bit. And then we drove to Mississippi, got there late at night, stayed overnight, woke up early, drove the rest of the way to Texas. And since then, we've been here, gathering things, getting everything we feel like we need ready to go.
Seeing our family, so we've been able to see our family a lot in the last 4 weeks, and kind of visited each side of our family and friends.
Yep.
And so part of what we're doing, we're not riding off into the sunset. That's not what this is about. Like, we don't think this is some great adventure to envy. We just want to keep doing the things that we do and like seeing a bit more as we go, but by no means planning or intending to be away from our family and friends for any length of time. We're gonna kind of go and come back around and go and come back around and just sort of plan seasons at a time.
Yeah. Yep. So that's kind of the brief story of where we what I don't know, how do you say it? How we came to do this, right? So that's the brief story of how we came to do this, to be in an Airstream, and what's next. Honestly, we don't even know, right? Like, we have nothing planned right now. Our intention is to head north towards Michigan before it gets too cold and enjoy that. We hear that the fall is extremely pretty, and then we don't know after that.
We'll swing back around for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, we're
And
gonna swing back around for Thanksgiving and Christmas to see our family and friends, and then we'll hit the road again. So we are extremely excited. I hope that at least maybe you're excited to follow along with us. You know, we really don't know what to expect, but we're really looking forward to it. So, you might remember a couple weeks ago I posted a video saying that I had lost my wallet. And I was in the middle of cleaning out my camera bag so that I could reorganize these shelves. I open up this and I see my wallet.
Howdy.
Hey guys, why do I speak like that? That's not how I talk. I don't talk like that.
We were made for YouTube.
Alright, let's try this.
Howdy.
Hey, I'm Jameson.
And I'm Devan.
And this
Is the Outdoors In. Howdy.
Hey guys, why do I talk like that?
That was a really good. Dublin, do not be yapping at that yappy dog.
Debbie, no. Alright, good.
Howdy.
Forgot to smile.
Howdy. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Howdy.
I'm Jameson.
Wait, that wasn't real.
No, it wasn't. Alright, cut.
Howdy.
I'm James. Cut. Alright,
Howdy.
I'm Jameson.
And I'm Devan.
And
this
is
is-
why if we're
I
not
want
doing
you
it
to do
together.
I want you to do it.
We're not doing
We're
it
gonna try it.
together.
Ready? Okay.
No.
Okay, I got it. Ready? Hold on. Can you get out of the frame like this? Am I out of the frame?
No.